Today, we're going to talk about the Success Leaves Clues episode number 5. Colonel Harland Sanders, he never gave up. Success begins the moment you decide to not quit. That's today's quote, and I think that's what Colonel Sanders lived by. He never gave up, even as a child. So, before Kentucky Fried Chicken, and before his white suit, and before his famous smile, there was a man who lost almost everything. At the age when many people were retiring, he decided to begin again. Hi, I'm Randy, and every great success story leaves clues. Not because successful people live perfect lives, but because their habits can help us learn from them and make us better. Most people believe success belongs to those who start young, but the truth is, success belongs to those who just start. It's not about age, luck, timing. It's about daily choices, discipline, mindset, and turn ordinary people into extraordinary leaders. Those with money are those with the right opportunities, but history tells a different story. One man lost business, faced rejection, started over again and again, and didn't find his great success until his 60s. His name was Colonel Harland Sanders. Today we're discovering the success habit that provided it's never too late to begin. Long before the world knew him as Colonel Sanders, he was simply a boy growing up in a rural area. Learning the hard value of work. While most kids were out playing, having a good time, he was working hard on a farm. A childhood filled with responsibilities. He was born September 9, 1890, Henryville, Indiana. His father died. 6-year-old Harland began helping care for his family. He learned to cook not because he wanted to, because he had to. While his mother worked hard to support the family, young Harland stayed home to care for his young brother and sister. He learned to cook at the age when most children were simply learning to read. Those early responsibilities shaped his character. Without realizing it, he was learning lessons that would stay with him for the rest of his life. Life would never become easy, but each challenge was preparing Harland for something much bigger. Life became his classroom. Every job taught another lesson. Throughout his life, Harland Sanders worked many jobs. He worked on farms, he drove streetcars, he worked on railroads, he sold insurance, he even operated a service station. To many people, his life may have looked scattered, but every experience was teaching him another skill, another lesson, another opportunity to grow. Looking back, none of those jobs were wasted. They were all preparing him for the work he would one day become famous for. Then one small roadside service station became the place where everything began to change. Serving more than gasoline, while operating a service station in Corbin, Kentucky, Harland noticed something interesting. Travelers appreciated more than gasoline. They appreciated kindness and hospitality, and, of course, having a home-cooked meal. Before long, people were stopping just to enjoy his fried chicken. Harland wasn't simply feeding hungry travelers. He was creating an experience people remembered. Sometimes success begins with serving people better than anyone else. That's a good thought to remember. Harland believed even his best recipe to become better. Perfecting excellence. Harland Sanders refused to settle for good enough. He experimented, he adjusted, improved, tested again and again. Eventually, he perfected the pressure frying method that produced delicious chicken in less time while maintaining quality. He also created a famous blend of 11 herbs and spices. People often remember the recipe, but the real secret wasn't the recipe. It was his commitment to excellence. Every improvement moved him one step closer to success. Just when everything finally seemed to be coming together, life dealt Harland one of his hardest blows. Success finally seemed within reach. However, then everything changed. A new interstate bypassed his restaurant. Customers disappeared like overnight. His business closed. At 65 years old, Harland had to begin again. For years, Harland Sanders worked tirelessly building a successful restaurant. Business was good. Travelers loved his chicken. It finally seemed like life was rewarding all of his hard work. Then something happened that he couldn't control. A new interstate highway was built. Traffic no longer passed by his restaurant. Almost overnight, customers disappeared. His business closed. Imagine being 65 years old and watching everything that you built disappear. Most people would have called it quits. Harland Sanders called it a new beginning. Success lesson: sometimes failure isn't the end, it's simply the beginning of your greatest chapter. With every little money that he had, very little, just pocket change probably, and a recipe he believed in, Harland set out on one final journey. He believed one restaurant would eventually say yes. Harland Sanders packed his pressure cooker, his seasoning, and his dream. Remember, that word dream motivates many successful men. So always have a dream. You might be the only one that has that dream. That's all that matters. Anyway, restaurant after restaurant he asked owners to try his chicken. If they liked it, he would receive a small royalty for every piece sold. It sounded simple, but almost everyone said, "What? No?" Yes, that's what everybody said. Most people quit after a few rejections. Harland kept driving, kept believing, kept on knocking on the next door. Rejected again and again and again, more than 1,000 times. One yes changed everything. He finally found someone that said, "What? Yes." People often remember the success. They forget about the struggle. Harland Sanders was rejected over and over again. Every no could have ended the story. Instead, each rejection strengthened his determination. Eventually, someone said yes, then another, and then another. The business that almost disappeared began spreading across America. Success finally arrived, but Harland Sanders never forgot the lessons that brought him there. Inspiring millions. Colonel Sanders eventually became one of the most recognizable faces in the world, but his greatest legacy wasn't fried chicken, it was hope. Hope for anyone who believes it's not too late. Hope for anyone starting over. Hope for anyone who's been told no. His story reminds us your greatest success may still be ahead. Remember, never stop your dream. Believe, build, and never quit. Harland Sanders teaches us one powerful lesson. Success doesn't belong to the youngest. It doesn't belong to the richest. It doesn't belong to the luckiest. Success belongs to those who refuse to quit. No matter your age, no matter your circumstances, no matter how many times you've heard no, never stop believing that your next opportunity may be just around the corner, because every great success leaves clues. The question is, will you recognize them? Until the next time, keep dreaming, believing, building, and never quit. Now, if you're ready to start building your dream and you want a perfect blueprint to show you how to reach your goal, blueprint that many people that have stuck to this blueprint that have made millions. And how many hours do you think you have to put in a day to make millions? Some people say 10, 12 hours a day. No. For this particular blueprint, if you follow it, 2 to 3 hours a day is all that's required. So, does it take work? Yes. Is it worth it in the end? Oh, absolutely. What price would you put on spending more time with your spouse, spending more time having time to do things you enjoy? Maybe perhaps some of you like to golf. Some of you like to go sailing. Whatever that desire is, your job that you're tied to, that 9 to 5 job that you have to report to Monday through Friday, if not more, is holding you back. I'm here to ask you, I'm here to tell you, there is a way out. There's a better way. Click on the link below this video and see if this is for you. Until next time, thank you.